Alright, let's talk about the big fight between GOJO and Sukuna in Jujutsu Kaisen. This battle was probably one of the most thrilling moments fans have seen in the series. Everyone loved it, even though the way it ended was a bit controversial. The action was incredible, and fans were on the edge of their seats the whole time. In the end, GOJO lost and died, which was a big shock. But things could have been very different if Sukuna hadn't used the 10 Shadows technique. If GOJO had been at his full strength, the fight might have ended differently. Now imagine if GOJO survived that battle and got a rematch against Sukuna in his prime with all his powers and techniques. It would still be a close and intense fight, not a one-sided battle like some might think. This makes us realize that if GOJO were to face Sukuna from the Heian era, GOJO would likely come out on top. So let's dive into why a fight between GOJO and the current prime Sukuna is so close. Before we begin, please tell me your thoughts in the comments below, and please subscribe to my channel and turn on all post notifications so you don't miss any daily uploads. Now, let's begin. Let's break down what Sukuna gained from his fight with GOJO. We're zooming in on just that aspect, not everything else. Sukuna did lose some of his advantages against GOJO. First, let's talk about domain expansion. Sukuna's advantage here was having an open barrier domain, which made his domain more powerful in nature, even though GOJO's newly mastered super condensed domain expansion balanced things out. In their next battle, Sukuna wouldn't get those initial malevolent shrine hits on GOJO, which really made a difference. GOJO, entering the fight with little knowledge about Sukuna, Mahoraga, and the World Cleave, suffered because of it. Not knowing about the World Cleave was fatal. There are arguments on both sides about how effective the World Cleave would be if GOJO had known about it. For now, I won't take a solid stance until more information from the manga is revealed. But for the sake of argument, let's consider what Kusakabe said in chapter 248. The existence cutter likely needs time to charge. Kashimo was able to dodge it. GOJO probably wasn't focused on defense. Let's delve into why Sukuna can't afford to let GOJO cast his domain successfully in their rematch. In his true form, Sukuna no longer has the luxury of losing a domain battle. The unlimited void is shattered, and Sukuna knows any slip-up could cost him the fight. Prime Sukuna will be under pressure just like GOJO, who can't risk being hit by the existence cutter. Now let's talk about the abilities Sukuna lost in his true form. 1. He presumably lost access to the 10 Shadows technique, including Mahoraga, which is a significant blow. 2. Resurrection. 3. The advantage of having 2 souls. Regarding the argument about scaling Sukuna to Kashima, while 20-finger Maguna struggled with Kashimo's speed, true form Sukuna had no trouble. Some speculate that Kashimo fought Sukuna when he was severely battered and exhausted. Even if true form Sukuna didn't instantly recover reverse curse technique or domain expansion, he was physically in much better shape since he essentially resurrected into a new body. There's no evidence that 20-finger Maguna is significantly weaker than true form Sukuna in terms of stats, cursed energy pool, or output. However, true form Sukuna's techniques would be more potent due to incantations and hand seals, and he would excel in close quarters combat due to having more limbs. Considering all these points, GOJO seems to have the advantage now. But he also enters the fight with some disadvantage. 1. The most critical one is Sukuna's newfound ability to cut through infinity. Even though GOJO might dodge it initially due to its presumed charge-up time, Sukuna no longer needs domain amplification. While some of his techniques are still ineffective against infinity, Sukuna may have non-offensive techniques he can now freely utilize. 2. Similar to how Sukuna initially benefited from a successful domain expansion, GOJO started the fight by hitting Sukuna with Amplify 200% purple. That definitely took a toll on Sukuna. In conclusion, a rematch between GOJO and Sukuna will likely be much closer than many people think. Let's break down why GOJO had a tough fight, despite Sukuna not being in his true form. It's crucial to note that Sukuna couldn't unleash his full power while inhabiting Megumi's body. In his true form, Sukuna boasts 4 arms and 2 mouths, which played a significant role once he transformed. These extra limbs allow him to use hand signs continuously during combat and chant incantations simultaneously, giving him a substantial edge in battle. This capability allows Sukuna to maximize the potency of his techniques, making them much stronger than they would be otherwise. Moreover, without techniques like Mahoraga, Sukuna wouldn't need to divert his cursed energy for adaptation. This would have allowed him to employ even deadlier techniques against GOJO, potentially turning the tide in his favor. Let's talk about how GOJO and Sukuna match up in their potential face-off. In his true form, Sukuna would definitely have had some strengths, but GOJO would also come into play with significant advantages. One major benefit for GOJO would be not having to deal with the 10 Shadows technique. This technique is underplayed in the series, but is undeniably powerful. GOJO himself acknowledged its potency when a Zenin family user once killed a member of the GOJO family who possessed both the 6 eyes and the Limitless technique. This historical clash showed that these abilities are evenly matched in terms of power. With his infinity and 6 eyes, GOJO possesses a formidable arsenal. The 10 Shadows technique, wielded by Megumi, matches these abilities in terms of sheer strength. Without this technique in play, GOJO wouldn't have to contend with Shikigami or adjust his strategy due to the Divine General. His Limitless technique would remain unbreached, and Sukuna would struggle to find a way through. This lack of an opening would make it difficult for Sukuna to defeat GOJO outright. In essence, GOJO's advantage in the battle would lie in wearing down Sukuna until he secured victory. It's important for fans to understand that whether Sukuna is in Fushiguro's body or his true form, a battle between him and GOJO would be incredibly close. When Sukuna was in Fushiguro's body, GOJO nearly managed to kill him. In fact, if GOJO had launched a Hollow Purple when he caught Sukuna with Unlimited Void, but GOJO didn't because he wanted to save Fushiguro. If he did, Sukuna would likely have perished. Similarly, a showdown between GOJO and true form Sukuna would have been intensely competitive. The outcome could have swung either way, making it impossible to definitively determine who would emerge victorious. However, GOJO's abilities would have positioned him better for success in such a clash. While Sukuna might have had an edge in domain battles, GOJO demonstrated resilience by withstanding Sukuna's strongest attacks and quickly recovering. With just a few moments, GOJO can neutralize Sukuna's Malevolent Shrine and severely impair him using Unlimited Void. The only real advantage Sukuna has is his world-cutting slash. While it could definitely work, it requires a chant, hand signs, and pointing with his palm. This process takes time, giving GOJO the chance to figure out Sukuna's plan and interfere or dodge, just like Maki did. I doubt this would be effective, but if Sukuna somehow outsmarts GOJO, he might win. This battle could go either way, but I'm betting on GOJO. If you disagree, feel free to leave a comment or just deal with it. Anyway, please tell me your thoughts in the comments below, and please subscribe to my channel and turn on all post notifications so you don't miss any daily uploads.